this week's edition of Political Arena. This week, our guest is the Zonal Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Mr. Roman.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
It's evening.
Oh,
Yes.
good evening to you.
Good evening, and good to have you on the show.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Let's begin from the PDP meeting, stroke zonal convention, I don't know what word you call it, but just happened just a few weeks ago, I think just about 2 weeks now, where the flag bearer of the party for the presidential election, the Hajj Abubakar, was watching with and then we moved for the zonal meeting. That's the environment. Something was very spectacular. It was the fact that the Southwest coordinators were speaking from a particular, let me say the Southwest governors of flag bearers were speaking in certain language. But when it came to the response from the flag bearer of the party, it seems he told about he insisted on what he had said time and time again. Has that disparity really divided the PDP and the Southwest?
Well, there are two schools of thought. Southwest is a very dynamic and very much purpose in approach to issues. And I was not there. I saw the
Video clip?
video clip.
Yes.
I saw the position presented by the governor, the local minister of the Southwest, Governor Shemakide. And I also saw the people's reaction on the floor, that is the people of the Southwest. And also, following the social media reaction day after from the various states, publications issued, stand by, stand against, this and that.
Okay.
So that's the shape of the Southwest right now. Governor Shemakede's position is quite solid. They struggle for the Southwest.
True.
Where is our place in all this? And the other side too, their position is that yes, we deserve our position, and we do not share the view that most presidential candidates and
The governorship candidate or the governors.
the chairman of the party
Yes.
cannot come from the same zone. But that is not the contention.
Okay.
The contention is where we are at this point in time. And the crisis has been championed by the man at the head of the protest against the arrangement, the River State government, that is the
Governor Nyesom Wike.
Nyesom Wike. The concern likely from the other quarters is that they are pushing this issue too far. That it looks like we are giving the ruling party the weapon to continue to take advantage of our party.
And at a critical time like this.
At a critical
So
time.
are you saying, or are you getting the feeling that without Governor Nyesom Wike's protest, let's put it like that, like you put it, this disarray that seems to be brewing would not have escalated this far?
Well, like there are internal mechanisms that will have been set in motion.
Okay.
Yeah, people have a right, and legitimately so. The way it was handled at the upper level is quite all right, and I believe that I believe that the leadership of the party was looking at it, but the drama that was exhibited by the leader, Nyesom Wike, and most of the moves being made, from that quarters, meeting APC, meeting this, doing that, was
hosting titans and gladiators
from across the line was a bit of bother for most of those people who felt that we've gone through this kind of thing before. We shouldn't allow it
to
fester. So I believe that was about the turning point for many of the people that are saying, hey, this can't be right. There are times when we can settle some of these things internally.
But it looks as if the media is continually being used as a weapon to register on grievances rather than settling matters even at home. Now everybody takes the partner to the media. If we're not going on social media, we're going on traditional media, and we're just tying both. But would you say Governor Nyesom Wike is well within his rights to tie off in a situation like this?
Oh yeah, everybody has the right to protest, and also the media can be used for protest. But there are boundaries. There has to be boundaries to which extent you can go. You can't go on the media and start accusing the national chairman of a party as a thief. You can't go on the media and begin to accuse the chairman of the party on matters that are not being substantiated.
What if he could present his proof?
Well, he should have done that before you go to the
public.
Yeah, before you go to the public. It's a major embarrassment to the party.
I want to digress a little bit and go back to the party structure itself. One of the biggest challenges we have, and I think one of the reasons why people are looking at Alhaji Atiku Abubakar as a de facto leader of the party right now, simply because he's the flag bearer for the presidential election, is because it is assumed that the president of the country is the de facto leader of the ruling party. Is that the constitution of the People's Democratic Party?
Yeah, he's the leader of the party. But even as the leader of the party.
So what's the job of the chairman when he becomes the leader? Why don't you have a chairman?
Well, the chairman has his functions stipulated by the constitution of the party. But at the same time, the constitution's allocated functions of the various organs of the party, whereby there matters to be dealt with. It is better addressed at this level or the other.
Okay.
So that's how the constitution is framed. And so, if there are matters to be resolved, people should be able to sit down and have it addressed. And any matter that has been addressed by the Constitution, look, some time ago, in the earlier part of the party was being run with impunity. I remember in 2015, we had to stage a press conference where the chairman then, Secondus, apologized to the nation that we knew where we got it wrong. Impunity was the order of the day. It will never happen.
So basically, the PDP failed Nigerians.
Yeah,
in
2015,
the handling of
power. So that being so, you cannot blame or fault anybody, for being careful to run foul of the law. We, at that point in time when we made that apology, I would presume that the party had accepted to run as a party that believes in the rule of law. So if that is our belief, we need to oppose it.
Let me ask this last question before we take this very quick commercial break. Does Alhaji Atiku Abubakar have the power, according to the constitution of the People's Democratic Party, to remove the chairman?
No, he doesn't have some powers.
Okay. Let's take a break. I want it as simple as possible. It doesn't have the power, and that's established. Okay, we'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, there's still more to come.
Is fuel that fires up our souls. Today, African music has a dominant place on the world map. This massive music movement creating waves across the globe.
I have seen the evolution and the growth of this industry.
But every movement starts with a story. And the best place to start any story is at the very beginning.
There's a primordial energy that can only have come from Africa.
Welcome back. It's still Political Arena and our conversation with the Zonal Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, continues. Mr. Rahman Owokoniran. Yes, sir, welcome back. Before we went on that break, I think I asked you a question. It was simply, does Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, as the presidential candidate of the party right now, have the power to remove unilaterally the chairman of the party? You said no. Does the party have the power to suspend or punish the excesses of Governor Mozambique?
Oh yes, the party has powers to punish any individual that does certain things against the interest of the party.
And would you agree that certain things that it's just a very mild phrase in terms of what has been done in recent times, going back what you said earlier?
Well, I believe that even the law recognizes that there are certain actions that, even if you consider the action to be inimical, you can still excuse the individual knowing the frame of mind of that kind of individual. So maybe the party, decide to grant him a space.
A space
Hoping
express
that,
himself.
to express himself, hoping that reconciliation is still possible.
The reconciliation. So are you hopeful?
Yeah, I'm very hopeful. I'm very hopeful because of the crowd around him, some of the people around him.
Because I was going to go there. The people that the last meeting that was held in Port Harcourt, in his living room to be precise, had family members of the PDP from the South, including the one in Lagos here, Tiwalabode George, and governors, ex-governors, former governor of Ondo State, Mimiko, Olusegun Mimiko was there, and so many other people who had, at one point or the other, served, functioned under the PDP. Isn't that so worrisome right now for the party, especially at a time when you're looking at gaining more states in the Southwest and in the South generally?
No. Well, for me, it might be worrisome for a lot of people, but for me, it's not worrisome because I know some of the individuals that are in the team. I know the role they will be playing right now. I know that they will be trying to calm the nerves, and ensure that reconciliation is possible. I also know that apart from knowing these people and their integrity, also the fact that some of them have elections to contest, and they are members of PDP, they are candidates of PDP, and for that reason, I do not think they will want a situation whereby the chances of PDP will be jeopardized at the election. Nobody struggled
At the general election or their personal elections?
at the general election. Nobody gains anything by the party losing at the center. There's no gain. No matter how the situation, if you are a PDP governor now, and you see the way APC is running the government, there's no way you can be happy with yourself. So therefore, the struggle is for everybody to want a change for the better.
And for the better is if your candidate, of course, emerges after the elections.
A change for the better.
A change for the better.
But definitely, I want my candidate to win the election.
I know that, of course.
Definitely.
I think it's part of your job description to want your candidate to emerge.
Yes, definitely.
Let's look at what is happening in Osun State, because now let's come to the southwest. Another crisis right now. There is the tribunal, and isn't that worrying the party? Because one of the people that I was looking forward to seeing in that video at Ibadan the other week was the governor-elect of Osun State, in person of Mr. Adeleke, Senator Ademola Adeleke. I wanted to hear him speak. I wanted to hear some, some encouraging words that despite the tribunal, despite some of the discoveries, but then I was quite maybe taken aback when he admitted that there were overvoting in certain polling units. I don't know, isn't that part of the work of the lawyers?
Yeah.
Giving a statement how before the tribunal, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that was the work of the lawyer. But when the other side, they're trying to use the media to canvass the wrong information, push out the wrong information, of course it is supposed that they must be out there to, hey, wait a minute, that's not right. This is the right situation. I think that attempt is to ensure that people are well informed about what is going on.
The situation of things.
Yes.
Are you positive the outcome of the tribunal will be favorable?
Oh yeah, definitely. APC stole Osun State from us
2019 or 18.
No, 18. And we got it back.
So can you clarify stole?
Well, you were living witness to how the election was stopped in the middle of the counting, as a result of which they now came about saying that a certain number of polling units were disrupted and there was no election there. It was the might of the federal government that they used all the way. Nobody has the right to have stopped the counting of any election. Election counting should have gone on, concluded. If you have queries, you go to court. But that was not the case then. They used their might not only to stop, even determine which booths were acceptable for them. So they chose the convenient ones. And at the end of it, they prevented voters, from voting in the process of reconducting
The election.
the election.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we saw it all on video, and some of
And
people
how
on the
come
ground.
you didn't go to court? Of course, the election can be declared inconclusive. Again, and maybe again. After all, a governor was removed. I think a governor was removed. Isn't that Governor Segun Oni was removed just a few months to concluding his tenure when he was governor of Ogun State. And it was just a few months to him concluding the 4-year in office. He was removed, and another governor had to resume office. So, I think if you had fought it out, maybe we won't be talking about the PDP.
Yeah, maybe if they further out. Look, you calculate your the odds and make your judgment.
Politics is a game of odds and things.
And you make your judgment based on those. If you felt that election should have been taken back then, sure we would have done what is right. But I prefer the option taken. Come back strong.
And win with a landslide.
Exactly. So.
And now that you've won, people are looking forward to Adeleke being sworn in, which brings me to another matter. Brings me here to Lagos.
Yeah.
Lagos, the center of excellence. It seems the PDP is positioning itself this time around to say, let's come with a bang. Unfortunately, there's so much disquiet in so many quarters among party chieftains, maybe contestants, among aspirants who felt cheated, who felt a level playing ground was not given, for them to merge or for them to contest their popularity. And it looks as if it's same of same, an imposition of some sort. And what are the chances of all of these things being, all of these issues being resolved before the elections itself?
Yeah, thank you. But people seem to forget that Lagos is the size of 3-4 states in this country.
In terms of economy or in terms of land mass?
No, in terms of population and economy.
Okay.
So Lagos is huge. And managing the human resources, it takes a whole lot of energy to be able to really arrest the situation and chart the path that you want to do. To your question, PDP is doing its utmost best and is working to make sure that we arrest all this situation. There are people who have issues with the outcome of the primary elections. It's bound to happen. So we put in place reconciliation committees that are addressing the situation, and I can tell you that we are 80% successful, and the rest of the 20 is very promising too, because we are realizing that we have an election, the general election, to win. You can cite the case of senatorial candidates for the Lagos West, which is our biggest local government. Until recently, he wasn't happy with the results of the primaries. But today, he has embraced the candidate of the party and they are working together. So that's a part of the effort in the right direction. And I can also go on at the House of Representatives level, at the level of House of Assembly, and even the gubernatorial. The other day, we still met those who contested against the candidates and some of the field leaders, and everybody had decided to check their swords and work for the candidate. I'm talking about everybody. Every one of the gubernatorial aspirants that still remains in the party.
That still remain.
Because we lost
a few.
I think one or two of them. So those ones that are here in the party, yes, they are all reconciled and intend to rally on the candidates for success at the 2023
At the 2023 elections. And then, when you say they have reconciled and they would work for the party, what about the seats which some felt were taken from them? For example, you're talking about Lagos West, there's Lagos Central. What about those who feel the seat was legitimately taken from them? Are you really sure? Do you think they would work for the candidates of the party in that locality, especially when they seem to have more popularity than the candidates of the party?
Well, nobody was under duress because of this reconciliation effort, and it was not a one-day meeting. It was meetings for a period of about 2 months that we were holding on a weekly basis before we got to the point we are. So they voluntarily on their own and at different levels, this same efforts are going on, reaching out to their groups so that and some also settle their matters in court. So we're almost there, like I said.
Almost there.
Almost there.
What about this issue that was recently raised by Chief Olabode George about the person who emerged deputy governorship candidate of the party? Apparently, the governorship candidate was given, or practically told to pick the next popular candidate as he's running it. And they said that was agreed, according to your party chieftain. He said that was agreed, but upon power mantle being passed over to him, they said he picked his candidate of his choice, leaving behind the candidate of the party.
Well, I don't want to join issues with any of the leaders, but to the best of my knowledge, I'm not aware of any forum where that kind of decision was made.
They said that the screening. They said there was a screening where it was agreed and according to Chief Olabode.
Like I said, I'm not aware of any forum where such decision was taken. And the tradition of the party is that there'll be interested people, and amongst these interests, candidates ask the final say about who
will emerge.
who
So the
wants to
candidate
work with.
actually has the final say.
Oh yeah, the candidate has the final say on who
He would like to
work with. So, and the candidate made his choice. So he made his choice. If Chief Body Judge wants to query how come about, that is a process, well, he can explain better why he's angry. But from my own point of view, and I challenge you to talk to any of the party leaders, maybe they might be aware, but I am not aware of such.
Any such development. Another matter on my list, here is the support group you were accused of creating for the presidential campaign of your party. Why is there? I mean, it's common knowledge everywhere that people are creating support groups. Why is yours a problem?
Well, I don't know. Maybe this question will be better answered by the accusers. But as far as I'm concerned, since the convention or the primaries have produced Atiku, a lot of people who are his friends, they have been more than anxious to contribute to the success. I believe this should be to the pride of the party and acceptance. But that's the way I viewed it anyway. So when I was approached, I said, why not? I will have something to contribute, for the success of the program. And what was it? APU, Articulate People United. What was it about? It was an independent campaign group that is intended to mobilize support for Atiku from outside the party. Engage people, in a way that they can understand and know Atiku as a person and be able to appreciate why he should be the president of this country. And so that is what the group, it was not a group within the party. It was an intended.
Independent.
It was a movement.
Okay.
It was a movement that was created for Atiku, and the response has been tremendous. And so when this issue of wiki, this and that, of course, such group will be concerned.
Yes.
Now, what's going on? We thought your people had resolved. We saw your we saw your primaries. We saw that it was a free and fair contest, and somebody emerged and they embraced one another. So, what is the issue? So, at the meeting, we had to talk about, possibilities of why the crisis. Was it because Wiki was not picked to be the vice president, or was it for other reasons? So they waited. At every meeting, it continued to, recall this, continue to talk about it, and so it got to this point. Hey, we have a campaign to start in so time. Everywhere we go to canvass, they ask us questions. Don't you think this incident might mar the chances of the candidate? And these are issues they have to deal with on a regular basis. So this concern now brought about a situation whereby they say, look, let APU lend its own voice
to the matter.
Okay. And they spoke well. They neither did they say those who wanted AU out didn't have their rights. They don't know the intricacies of what was operative in the party, whether an individual has a right to remove or not. But their whole concern was that if you love this person that you have elected as your flag bearer, this is not what you should do. You should shed your swords and move on working. They don't understand the technicality of the struggles within the party. So if you are one out of hundreds and a decision is being made, you cannot pull out and say, at this point, I am not a part of it. So that decision was taken, and the communique was issued to tell them that election is in sight. We think all these matters can be resolved after the election. So some individuals within the party, particularly in my state, they can't wait to see my back. So they made it my issue.
Particularly your state.
Particularly my state.
And your state is?
Lagos State. They want to see my back. So they made it my issue, and they tried to instigate a crisis. I'm not sure whether that one is working. So, so there we are. But strictly speaking, Atiku People United is to move away from the maddening crowd within the party, this dribbling and shoveling of ideas to focus purposely on the candidate and what is necessary to get the candidate in office. So that's what APU is about.
And the crisis notwithstanding, we've continued with your movement.
Oh yeah, we continue. We told them our own side to maybe send a copy of our response and the acquisitions to you. So we told them our position and that we have no reasons to back out from the decision we have taken, and we're moving on. We have a party, we have an election to win, we have a candidate.
Our work. We've been speaking to Chief Rahman, who was the zonal secretary of the PDP. The campaign starts in the next couple of days. I mean, how prepared is the PDP as we round up this conversation?
Well, I can assure you we are prepared. Going for this kind of election, you cannot over prepare. It's an ongoing thing. We are working, and we believe that by the time we get to the touchline, we'll be more than ready to challenge the ruling party, to wrestle them to the ground.
To wrestle them to the ground.
Yes.
I like the way you put it. It's been a nice time talking to you tonight, and of course sharing some of these thoughts with us. We sincerely do hope that we would get Governor Nyesom Wike's heart in all of this and see when the reconciliation has been done, and maybe give the opportunity again to all of the gladiators to come their mind. Since we've all decided to go to the media, MITV is open to say, come over and have this conversation. As a matter of fact, we're going to host a town hall meeting for you and stream it live and let everybody understand. Let's wash our dirty linen in public and then clean ourselves up and pick ourselves up again. Our platform is available for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So my name is Tomisin Abdullah. I'll see you again next week on The Political Hour. That's the show.